Welcome back to online classes. Dear students, how are you? I'm James here. Today I'm going to discuss with Indian Penal Code. Okay. Under section 366, kidnapping, abducting or inducing woman to compel her marriage, etc. This is section explain. Okay. And also briefly explain about whoever kidnaps or abducts any woman with intent that she may be compelled or knowing it to be likely that she will be compelled to marry any person against her will, or in order that she may be forced or seduced to illicit intercourse, or knowing it to be likely that she will be forced or seduced to illicit intercourse, shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 10 years and shall also liable to be fined. And whoever by means of criminal intimidation as defined in this code, or abuse of authority or any other method of compulsion, induces any woman to go from any place with intent that she may be, or knowing that it is likely that she will be forced or seduced to illicit intercourse with another person, shall also be punishable as aforesaid. Okay. Here the section explain where a woman has no intention of marriage or lawful intercourse when kidnapped. This section applies the following ingredients. Number 1, kidnapping or abducting of any woman. Point number 1. This is ingredients number 1. Number 2, such kidnapping or abducting must be, number 1, with intent that she may be compelled, or knowing it to be likely that she will be compelled to marry any person against her will. Okay. Or number 2, in order that she may be forced or seduced to illicit intercourse, or knowing it to be likely that she will be forced or seduced to illicit intercourse. Or third point, by means of criminal intimidation or otherwise by inducing any woman to go from any place with intent that she may be, or knowing that she will be forced or seduced to illicit intercourse. It is immaterial whether the woman kidnapped is a married woman or not. Okay. To constitute an offence under section 366 of Indian Penal Code, it is necessary for the prosecution to prove that the accused induced the complainant, that's woman, or compelled by force to go from any place, that such inducement was by deceitful means, that such abduction took place with the intent that the complainant may be seduced to illicit intercourse, and or that the accused knew it to be likely that the complainant may be seduced to illicit intercourse as a result of her abduction. Okay. Here the mere abduction does not bring an accused under the ambit of this penal section. So far as charge under section 366 of IPC is concerned, mere finding that a woman was abducted is not enough. must further be proved that the accused abducted the woman with intent that she may be compelled, or knowing it to be likely that she will be compelled to marry any person, or in other that she may be forced or seduced to illicit intercourse, or knowing it to be likely that she will be forced or seduced to illicit intercourse, unless the prosecution proves that the abduction is for purpose mentioned in under section 366 of Indian Penal Code. The court cannot be hold the accused guilty and punish him under section 366 of IPC. Okay, let's see the ingredients one by one. The two ingredients is available as per the IPC of 366. First, we'll discuss it. First ingredient of 366 of IPC. Number one, kidnaps or abducts any woman. What is that? If the girl was 18 years old or over, she could only be abducted and not kidnapped. But if she was under 18 years, she could be kidnapped as well as abducted. If the taking was by force, or taking or enticing was by deceitful means. Okay, the main reason is age based on this abduction and kidnapping. Okay, and voluntarily going away for marriage is not an offense under this section. Doubts about age, if not resolved satisfactory, would go in favor of the accused, where the school certificate of the appeared to be doubtful. The court went by certificate of the radiologist. Okay, radiology means why the radiologist court find out this type of medical witness, the bone, how the bone was developed stage by stage, no, this is medical witness. And number second ingredients of the 366 of IPC, with intent that she may be compelled, okay, to marry any person against her will. Based on this, the intention of the accused is basis and the gravamen of the offense under this section. The volition, the intention and the conduct of the woman do not determine the offense. They can only bear upon the intent with which the accused kidnapped or abducted the woman. And the intent of the accused is vital question of determination in each cases, where only confinement was established. The Supreme Court held that conviction was possible under section 365 of IPC and 368 of IPC and not 366. Once the necessary intent of the accused is established, the offense is complete, whether or not the accused succeeded in effecting this purpose, and whether or not in the event the woman consented to the marriage or the illicit intercourse. And next point of this same section of same ingredients, in order to establish offences under section 366 of IPC, it must first be established that the offence of kidnapping under section 361 of IPC has been proved. It must then be shown that such kidnapping was with the continuous intent referred to under section 366 of Indian Penal Code. Okay, I will give you another example of the same ingredients. If the girl kidnapped is below 18 years, okay, consent is immaterial. Okay, if the girl kidnapped is below 18 years, consent is immaterial for the offence to be made out. Court made out for treating it as a technical offence. Okay. Here, prosecutrix was a minor at the time when she was taken away from her lawful guardian, but the defense contended that both appellant and the victim, here the victim is petitioner witness 2, okay, were in love for a number of years prior to the date of the incident, and she voluntarily and willingly went with him. Therefore, even though she is a minor, since there was no enticement, okay, or taking away as contemplated under section 361 of IPC, it is also contended that even a minor has every right to abandon the house of the guardian and go to any place of his or her choice, and there is no legal obligation on the person to whose place such minor goes to restore back the minor to the custody of the legal guardian. So here, rejecting the argument, Supreme Court held that material on record shows that there was a promise of marriage made to petitioner witness 2, that is PW2, that means victim, which amounts to enticement of a minor, because of which she had left the house of her lawful guardian. Another case where a blind girl coming out of her home for a school was taken by the accused to the secretariat premises, which was not her destination, and no evidence was there to show that she went there of her own volition and there was subjected to an intercourse. It was held that an offence under this section was made out. Okay. And the third point of this same section of ingredients, okay, the word forced, what is the meaning? Forced or seduced to illicit intercourse. Forced or seduced to illicit intercourse. What is that meaning in this IPC? The word forced is used in the ordinary dictionary sense and includes force by stress of circumstances. The expression seduced used in the section and section 366 subclass A means inducing a woman to submit to illicit intercourse at any time. Here the Supreme Court in this case disapproved of the view taken by the Allahabad and Lahore High Courts that the word seduced used in this section is properly applicable only to the first act of illicit intercourse unless there be a proof of return to chastity on the part of that girl. The Calcutta High Court, Patna High Court, the Madras and Bombay High Court had also held that seduction, S-A-D-U-C-T-I-O-N, seduction is not used in the narrow sense of including a girl to part with her virtue for the first time, but includes subsequent seduction for further act of illicit intercourse. Here another example of this same meaning, where a girl under 18 years of age is taken away from the keeping of her father by the accused with object of marriage or seduction, seduction is guilty of an offense under this section. Okay, notwithstanding the fact that the girl accompanied him of her own accord and not as a result of force or misrepresentation. Okay student, now you got it. I'll give you another example of this same, where the accused and the complainant. A married woman was already in terms of illegal intimacy, and the woman did not protest when the accused took her to his own house, where she continued to live in illicit intimacy with the accused. The offence committed was not under section 366 of IPC but under section 497 of IPC, that means adultery, or 498 of IPC. Okay, where a young person where a young widow, while coming back from a visit to Badrinath along with her 70-year-old father-in-law, okay, who had lost all 5 sons, was taken away by 2 miscreants, the third holding back her father-in-law, and raped behind the roadside bushes. What happened? It was held that the offence under the section was made out, though the body of the girl was never traced thereafter. And another example, a girl of 15 years who was kidnapped from the lawful guardianship of her mother, and on recovery it was found that her hymen was punctured and she was menstruating. Conviction under this section was upheld. Okay students, and another example of the same section. This is entirely different from others. The accused lady abducted the victim girl in order to compel her to illicit intercourse. The victim's evidence showed that the accused had purchased her like a cattle and had control and domain over her. The accused was personally present when the victim girl was recovered by the police. The conviction of the accused was held to be proper. She being of 76 years and suffering from chest trouble. Okay, what happened here? The court, instead of sending her to jail, imposed a fine of only 10,000 rupees, because here age factor. Okay, and another point of view, consent. We discussed consent in this same area. What is that meaning, consent? If consent is okay, if any one of the girl giving consent, what will happen? We'll see. Merely because a person did not give passive resistance, it does not mean his helpless resignation on face of inevitable compulsion cannot be demanded as consent. Only conclusion relevant is that she was kidnapped and kept under barrier and was raped against her will, where the evidence shows that victim herself had called the accused to meet her at a place outside the village. What happened here? It is held that the accused is entitled to acquittal. Okay, and another example here, the prosecutrix aged 19 years, 19, accompanied her elder sister, went with appellant voluntarily. Here appellant means the petitioner to file before the appeal. Okay, so appellant voluntarily and did not make any annoyance and performed intercourse with him. Only after tracing her out by police in connection with the report of missing person, she stated to police some ingredients of offense of rape. It is apparent that in spite of having opportunity at various stages and various places, she did not complain to anyone of or did not make any annoyance, saying that she is being taken by appellant without her will. What happened in this situation? Here, offenses not made out because consent, as per the consent. And another point of view, age also 19 years. Okay, not minor, major. Okay, so this is not kidnapping, abduction, something like. Okay friends, and another point of view, another example also will discuss with you, where the prosecutrix went with the accused on her own, stayed with him for 2 days in his house with his relatives and had sexual intercourse with him. She neither tried to escape nor made any grievance to the relatives. What happened here? It was held that her conduct showed her consent and the accused was not liable under section 366 and 376 of IPC. Okay, 366 is our section, kidnapping, abducting or inducing woman to compel her marriage, etc. But section 376 is rape. Okay, and another point, sheltering girls, seduce them to illicit intercourse. What happened here? Sheltering girls to seduce them to illicit intercourse, where 2 girls under the age of 18 years ran away from their houses and remained for 1 or 2 days in the house of woman of locality, and no report was made to the police. In the situation, what happened? It was held that the woman in whose house the girls stayed was guilty of an offense under this section. Okay. And another subheading of the same section, kidnapping and rape, based on the section. Evidence of rape is distinct from the other charge, and matter should be examined in the background, merely because accused have been acquitted for offences punishable under section 366 of IPC. Ipso fact, no reason to disbelieve the entire prosecution story on this solitary ground. In a prosecution under section 366 and 376 subclause 2 and subclause G of the IPC, it was held that unnatural conduct of prosecutrix in not raising alarm for help while travelling certain distance after her alleged abduction, coupled with the failure to identify Kodai, K-O-T-H-A, Kodai, in which she was subjected to rape, fully belies her case. Here accused is entitled to benefit of doubt. Okay. And another small example, when the prosecutrix aged 13 years or 14 years came from her house at night to urinate, passing the urine, the accused and his companions kidnapped her to the house of the accused and raped her. What happened here? what section will be applied? Accused was rightly convicted under section 376 and 366 of IPC. What is that? 376 rape. 366 of IPC kidnapping and abduction. Okay, and this section will be applied. Okay, and another example of same this section, kidnapping and murder. Sometimes any one of the person kidnap and rape, then murder. What happened? This is punishment or not punishment? The victim was the victim was kidnapped by accused persons for ransom. He was murdered and dead body thrown into river. Articles belonging to the victim were recovered from accused house. The facts were proved on evidence. The order of conviction was confirmed. Okay, and section 366 of IPC is not a minor offence of section 376. What is that? It is true that section 222 of the Code of Criminal Procedure Code entitles a court to convict a person of an offence which is minor in comparison to the one for which he is being tried, but section 366 of IPC cannot be said to be a minor offence in relation to an offence under section 376 of IPC, as both the offences are of distinct and different categories having different ingredients also. Okay, we'll go to the punishment area. How the punishment will be occur? The appellant was acquitted under section 376 subclass 2 subclass G. However, he was convicted under section 366 of IPC and read with the section 34 of IPC. 34 means common intention, and was sentenced to imprisonment for 4 years only. The incident is of 1983, and at the time the appellant was 17 years of age. 17. Now she is married. Now he is married and has children. In the facts and the circumstances of this case, it is appropriate to uphold the conviction, but sentence of imprisonment is reduced from 4 years to 2 years and 6 months only. And another example of in this section, in state of Madhya Pradesh versus Rameshwar case, where the victim was approximately 16 years of the age and was seduced and kidnapped by the respondent, that means accused, by promising to marry her. Okay, but not marry. What happened here? The aggrieved person filed before the Supreme Court. Supreme Court restored the sentence awarded by the trial court. The accused and his companions took away. Okay, restored the sentence awarded by the trial court. That's all. I don't want to go another example also. That example is enough. Okay. Okay, student, this is what explaining section 366 of IPC and ingredients and a few things. Okay, you just go through, then it is easy to understand. Okay, you can watch this video 2 or 3 times, then only it is easy to understand. Otherwise it will be going on story like this. Okay, you just work hard. Okay, repeatedly you can watch this video. Okay, students, we'll continue another session with another classes. Okay, thank you, bye.